Look, this big old box. I'll have to put it down here. This is everything that pertains to a little trip to New York, from the different bags and stuff that I took traveling, different travel clothes that I've really figured out what works for me, the different shoes I got and different clothes I bought, and the highlights of the trip. So I think this will actually be really informative because it's gonna show you what I recommend for traveling, shows you what to maybe look for in New York, some really cool stuff that's coming out, some really cool workwear brands. And so I think it's gonna be a good video. It might be a long one because I got a lot of stuff to go over. So support this video if you like it, because this being a longer video is going to be a lot longer editing. And so where Rose Anvil 2 doesn't make money, like it's fun, but we're trying to get it to make money. These really long videos cost a lot more money. So enough pleading, enough begging, just support us. We're just trying to make this thing work. So number one, travel bags. What did I actually use? One of the best bags for camera gear traveling is these nomadic bags. This is the Peter McKinnon bag. He's another YouTuber that's really into like the photography stuff. Not really into it. He's like one of the biggest names in the photography world. And this is $309. The McKinnon Camera Backpack 25 liters is perfect camera backpack for everyday use, designed for ultimate customization. This camera backpack features adjustable ladder system support. I guess that's the ladder system. Oh, it supports various cubes and dividers to meet your unique needs. And that's the thing that's really cool about this, because if I remember right, this was like a prototype, so this is probably a little bit off from the final product. I think it has like one extra zipper. But if you unzip this back part, opens up and unfolds into these really nice little cubes that you have these little Velcro things that you can make your own little partitions with. So if you got your camera and you want it to be really snug in there for being beat around while traveling, you throw that in there. Make a little divider, make it look prettier than that. Get flaps to go over. You can pull these out. So like Sam was the one that took the bag, but I took a couple of these cubes to travel with for my own use or for just to help with traveling stuff. Got these little separators here. This bag is sick. It's pricey. It's $309, but for fitting camera gear to keep it really safe and pad it all the way around, customize it, compartmentalize everything, this bag is sick. There's a reason why Nomadic is featured a few times in this video, because they're freaking awesome. And it looks good too, all blacked out, kind of like that high-tech kind of vibe to it. It's a cool bag. Oops, dropped it on the light. The next bags that I traveled with, I got like 3 tiers of bags that I use. My smallest tier is just like a little fanny pack, stows all your stuff, go to concerts, go traveling, it'll like go out for the day. With the fanny pack, you can keep it a lot tighter, so it's a little bit harder for pickpocket. You seen those videos? Terrifies me to go to Europe just from those videos. But also the funniest thing of all time, I don't even know if it was real or not, when the Olympics were in Paris, they're like, Americans, quit beating everyone up. Let them steal your wallets. And Americans are like, that. Like, you're not gonna steal my wallet without a fight. I think it's a funny story. But that's why I like fanny packs, because it's a little bit harder to pull it out of your pocket without noticing. You can have a lot more room for knickknacks and random stuff you're carrying. And this is the Artera fanny pack. It's like 40 bucks. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on their site, and it has the same vibe, like that blacked out vibe that I really like. And you've got this little pocket here that you can put like your band merch, or if you buy some clothes, you can stuff it in there. If you need to take your jacket off, roll it up, put it in there. It's got a little divider here, so like I would keep my most valuables in this inner pocket, so they'd have to unzip in front of me and then unzip again and then get into the actual inner pocket. Got this little key carabiner here that I've actually found a lot of use for. It's really useful. Another little pocket there, little dividers. This was a lifesaver, because when I was on the city bikes in New York, I was able to have that really nice and secure, and it wasn't jumbled around in the front basket. Because while I was out there, I was hanging out with Nolan from Thursday, and I went to a play, and I was going to meet up with him after. And I got seduced by some pastries. I was riding my little city bike past a few pastry shops, and I was like, oh, those look good. And so I peeled off and I grabbed like 3 or 4 little pastries. I saw another pastry shop. I was like, I think I'm just gonna buy like $75 of pastries, because like I hadn't heard from Nolan yet, and so I'm just gonna go home and just binge eat all this food. And so I ended up buying like $75 worth of really tasty pastries, because I didn't go out to eat. I saved my money, didn't go out to a fancy restaurant, bought it all in pastries, and I ride my city bike home, then I guess Nolan's like in a meeting or something. He's like, hey, we're still out here. And I was like, oh, I've already made it home. I'm gonna eat all the pastries in the world. I opened up the box and it had completely blended every bit of pastry I bought all into one big mess. Because I put it all in one box, put it in the front little tray, and it just freaking shook it around and rattled it around and slowly just made it into a giant delicious mush. And so, case in point, or I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, it's nice to have something on your body because you can protect how much it's jostling around. Not that you put a pastry in this, but this one was handy. Then my next step above for like traveling would be, or you like hiking, going around the city, even like around Salt Lake. This is my Mystery Ranch little backpack. This is like your day pack. So it's called the Gallagher 15. The thing I really like about this is it's small, so you can use it as a little day pack in the really hot sun. It kind of stinks. It smells a little sweaty, but it's small enough that you can pack it anywhere. It's not big, but you can fit a lot of stuff in it. This is what I take to work every single day. And not that this is that useful information, but I enjoy the little modifications I've done, so I thought I'd share them with you. One is I always just clip my hats to my backpack with this little carabiner. These little quick draws, if you ever climbed. I just have so many of these little quick draws. Like if I'm going to work, I put the little pull tabs in the carabiner. And then I also have a little air tag right here. You know, if you're traveling or if you're like me and you lose everything, having a little air tag to just be able to find anything you lost immediately, really nice. But having a little quick draw in your backpack is highly underrated. Do it. Then on the inside, these are some things that I just pack around from various like hunting and stuff that I always end up just having in my backpack for everyday life. I always have a hanky. You just never know when you might need a little hanky. This was from, who was this company. It's like Really Good Designs or something. Feel Good. What was it called? They have all like the really unique shirts. Whatever they're called, here it is. I honestly use this as like a sweat rag, pit rag. I blow my nose in it because I got a little cold from going to New York. So I always have this in my backpack, especially for like hikes and stuff. I always carry a little bit of sunscreen just in case I get a little bit farther out in the hike and I'm like, you know what, I'm having fun, I'm gonna keep going. Always keep some wet wipes, trust me, and thank me later. And then I usually try to keep a gimbal, a little cheap little gimbal, phone gimbal in my backpack for when I need to get some shots of hiking or wearing stuff in. But I love this little backpack. It's really handy for all day or everyday use. It's high quality, it's really thin and light, it's machine washable, at least I machine wash it because it stinks. And that's my like everyday backpack. I look like a little schoolboy going to work every day, but who cares? I'm the boss. And then for the bigger backpack, like if I'm going like a day hunt, because that's what most of these are, is for hunting. Another Mystery Ranch, the Coulee 30. I really like this one because it's got the triple zipper, so you can fillet the whole thing open. Similar to like the backpack, the nomadic backpack, where you can get in there and get all the different partitions out. This has a kind of a similar feel to it. It's just a little bit bigger, packs a little more in there. You know, it matches my small pack, so when I'm traveling, I usually have the small pack as my carry-on, and this one, or what, I don't fly that much. The one, I use this one for stuffing under my chair, and this one to go above in the top. And then you can stack them. Usually what I'll do is when I get out of the airport, I'll stack these and I'll like bungee them together or put these little quick draws and quick draw them together, and they match. But I really like this Mystery Ranch brand. They're pretty pricey. The Gallagher was $99, $189. So not crazy, but they got all these little hidden compartments. See right here, I put my little air tag right there. Got these little pockets here. Handy little backpacks. Has some structure in the back. It's good backpacks. And then for the last bag, I guess you call them bag. These bags are so freaking handy. Once again, nomadic. They just gave these to me maybe 2 years ago. And every time I travel, every time I hunt, I use these things. I have 3 of them. I just don't have the third one somewhere. It's more for shoes. And the nice thing about these is you pack all your stuff in there. So it looks like a shallow little box pack thing, right? But all you do is unzip it and it expands out So then you pack it plumb full and press it down, zip it back up. So you have like all your like underwear and socks all sectioned out and compressed down. You get all your t-shirts and stuff. And the one that's missing is the one that's fully, doesn't have any mesh in it. These are handy because it makes packing a lot easier. It makes like unpacking in like a hotel room a lot easier because you don't actually unpack, you just put the bag out and like, at least that's what I do, and I grab whatever I want for the day. These are handy. Double nomadic. How much are they? $80 for a set. Come in a few different colors. They are handy. Okay, next is travel clothes, because I hate traveling. I'm 6'4". This is how I sit in the airport in the airplane for 4 hours. And then the person behind me lays their seat back, and I'm just like this far away from the screen because I'm too tall. I can't lean back. I can't do anything with my knees. And so I'm very particular about what I wear and try to like make it as comfortable as possible. Because the problem with traveling, it's like you're so hot rushing through the airport, and then you get to the plane, and then you're freezing your butt off for like 4 hours in the flight. And so there's a few pieces of clothing that I've really found useful in more than just traveling, but especially traveling. Like these 72-hour pants from Huckberry. This was, I think it's from last year when they sent us some clothes. They're like, these are travel pants. They're made out of a wool blend. They're stretchy. They're breathable. They're antibacterial, antimicrobial, something like that. Let me pull it up before I make some false claims for Huckberry. Yeah, it's the Proof 72-hour merino pants. The Proof team doesn't take testing lightly. From Iceland to Tasmania, they put the 72-hour gear through the ringer. Merino wool blend wicks moisture away from your skin, regulates your temperature, and odor resists for 72 hours. Zip back pocket, which is nice because you can keep yourself a little bit more secure and safe. Zip. I wish these were a little bit bigger. I'm the worst at trying to get pants to fit because I've got the waist of a 5'4" guy, but the length of a 6'4" guy. And so pants just never fit me quite right. But because these are stretchy, you know, it doesn't bunch up when you're sitting on the plane for 5 hours. Allows you to kind of breathe a little bit. And maybe the most important thing to me that I like about these pants is they don't stink like an airplane. That's like the grossest thing to me, like when I'm traveling, is I hate smelling like the airplane. You get back to your hotel, you're like, oh! And like, I put those clothes in the corner for the rest of the trip because I hate the smell of airplanes. But these are made out of wool, so it's really odor resistant, and they breathe well, so you're not sitting in your own swamp the whole time. So they don't stink very much at all. Like I wore them a few times throughout the trip. So these are sick. How much are they? $170. So they're pricey, but you get a lot of benefits from it that I can attest to because I wear them every time I travel now. And here's some photos to prove it. I'll give you some, editor. Another thing I always travel with, gym shorts. And these, once again, are from Huckberry. They're the Wellen 7-inch shorts. The thing I like about these is they just look a little bit cleaner, a little bit classier. They're designed really well because you got the zipper in the back here. But the reason I like these when I go to the gym is I've got this little pocket right there. I put my key in there so it's not jostling around, or my headphones or whatever. Or if I'm traveling, I've got a zipper pocket to at least attempt to not have my stuff stolen as easily as possible. I've got the black pair and the tan pair. These are the 7-inch length. And I like these so much that when Huckberry was like, hey, let's do another unboxing, I was like, can I just have more of these shorts? And can I get more of these pants? And that's basically what we did. 4-way stretch, anti-odor, quick drying, 2 pockets. So a similar concept. There's not wool in this, but it's like a similar idea that like these travel well because they're made out of high quality materials like wool and all these different things. This one doesn't have wool, but they're high quality, so they don't look terrible and they don't smell terrible. And they're, how much are they? $55. You know, they're not crazy for a nice high quality. Because how much are Lululemons? Like dude Lululemons. I just searched dude Lululemons. Yeah, like $70, $80, $90. So they're really not crazy. And then really the last piece of clothing that I forgot to bring is that little nomadic jacket that you've probably seen me wear in like a third of the videos I've ever recorded. I love that jacket because it's really lightweight and breathable, but it still insulates you. So when you're on the plane, if it's too hot on the plane, you fold it up into its own little pocket and it makes like a nice little pillow, or I put it as my lumbar support. And then if it's cold on the plane, like it usually is, I usually just wear that thing, and it's got this nice little front pocket right here. I put my headphones in, I put all my my wallet there, because when you're sitting down, you want to be fishing in there, but you still want to be secure, not putting it in the nasty little pocket in front of like in the chair in front of you. That jacket is so sick, and that's one I'll probably do an independent video on. But because I've already talked about Nomadic enough, just trust me on that one. It's killer. It's worth the price. It's probably my most worn jacket of the last like 3 years because it's just so useful. I just always end up in it. And then for other stuff that I took that you might find interesting, also shameless plug, I wore Blood Core belt. We got a new version that's coming out because the problem with the backside of this is it rubs. This is the backside. It rubs and it will transfer dye onto your pants. So we're like, why don't we just make it out of veg tan? Why don't we do like a line in veg tan? That'd be sick. And so the new model or the new version of this, like the more premium version, has your Blood Core on the outside, veg tan on the inside. So you're gonna get really cool patina of the veg, and it's not gonna bleed dye onto your clothes as much. And then I also took my Swayze wallet. I usually take a travel wallet, but I was gonna be in New York. I want to be light. I didn't want a big pack thing around, so I just took my Swayze. This is my everyday carry. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't show my license number. Your license, your credit cards, your random bank cards, and then like your little freaking med cards and random stuff. It keeps it really tight and compact. It does this nice little like flipping. It just feels good. You know, but it's really tight, really compact, holds tons of cards, because I probably have 6 cards in there, maybe 5 in there, 2 in there, so that's 15 cards roughly. It's a good little travel wallet, and girls like these especially because they can keep all their cards in one spot. They just throw this in their bag or their purse, and then they can always just grab this and grab whatever cards they need. Oh, and then I wrote down, I'm not the biggest traveler, but I'm the biggest baby when it comes to sleeping. I very much value my sleep. And 2 things I always bring with me that you probably already know is earplugs and a sleep mask. It's so cheap. You just buy like a new one every time that you travel if you want. Like those are a game changer for travel, because me and Sam bunked up in the same room together for the first night because ASICS, actually I didn't even tell you, the whole reason we're out there is because ASICS flew us out. And we were interviewing Gino and like meeting with the skate team a little bit, and like interview them about the new shoe that's coming out. And so they put us up in a really nice hotel. And me and Sam were staying together, 2 little separate queen beds, and he goes to bed early. I go to bed late, and so I was up late. I was trying to be as quiet as possible. I was on my phone. I put like a barrier of pillows around me. I was like, put my treats, my snacks in my bed so I could be as quiet as possible, crinkling them out. And he's like, I was trying to fall asleep, and then all this crinkling was going on. I was like, I was trying. But the point is, it was fun. And what he needed was earplugs and a little face mask. And for me, when it's traveling, it's so loud in hotels and outside, those just block out the world. It allows you to get a good night's sleep. So bring those. Now to the shoes. The whole thing, I forgot to even mention at the beginning of the video. The whole reason we went to New York. ASICS, a Japanese company known for making athletic shoes, has started getting into focusing more into the skateboard world. And Gino is one of the more popular skaters in the world. He's worked with a lot of the other brands, and he's been popular in the skate industry for decades. And the cool thing about ASICS is they're very different than American companies, because a lot of American companies are just like, how do we make as much money as humanly possible, as fast as humanly possible, at the expense of everybody but me? You know, ASICS is very much like, we want to make good shoes, we want to do what we do best, and we don't need to chase these endless profit margins and endless growth. Like, we just want to be a good, high quality company. And it shows, like, even like through like dealing or talking with them and like seeing how they do things and like the way that they think about stuff compared to other brands, it's very different. So the Gino colors are blue and white. So this is the Gino X Legarezza, I don't even know how to say it, Legarezza launch. Gino Iannucci is a professional skateboarder from Long Island, New York. His family has Italian roots. Gino is currently based in New York City. Gino has been around for a long time, has become a true legend. And Gino is so cool. Like all the time, every one of these professional skateboarders we meet, they're the coolest, most chilled, like most welcoming dudes. And Gino was so sick. He was very welcoming and really cool with us. So huge shout out to Gino. That was fun. It was fun hanging out with him and like doing the interview and stuff. And so they come in 2 colorways. and they come in white, and they come in blue. And this blue, I'm not a big blue shoe fan, but once I saw Gino wearing these and Sam wearing these, I was like, I need these. I'm actually super hyped about the shoe because of how it looks, but also because how it performs, because the background of the shoe is designed by Yasuyuki Takada and ASICS design team, inspired by the Injector Erezzo 1 from 1989, which is this old school soccer cleat. And see these little sewing lines there? And I talked to Jaron, my cuz, who works with us. I asked him, like, why do they have those like sewing lines on the toe like that? He's like, so you can get traction on the ball. So it like gives you like more topography to like be able to spin the ball how you want, kick the ball how you want. I didn't play soccer, I don't know. But I was like, that's cool because it might be in there. The design team proposed this upper as a different option next to the Sky Court for the SPS line. Once shown to the skate team in person and noticing the overwhelming positive response, also being a silhouette that would add value to the skate shoe line, it got approved and utilized for skate program. Gino's been known to gravitate towards indoor soccer style shoes to skate in. When ASICS designer showed Gino the very first sample for feedback, it was love at first sight. Gino grew up in Long Island playing hockey, always being a part of his life. The custom shoe is inspired by the box of ice skates, which is like really cool and similar. And the campaign was shot at a local vintage ice hockey rink in Long Island that Gino used to go to. The shoe colors are done by Gino, not based on anything specific, just colors that he's into. And the coolest thing that I don't think anyone would even notice before you'd have to like read it, is the little side panel of like a hockey jersey material on the shoe. So it's like this weird like combination of skate and hockey and Gino and like ASICS and Japanese manufacturing. These shoes are so sick. So let's open them up, finally get to the unboxing part. Mostly because I want to wear these things so freaking bad. Look at these. Are you kidding me? So right here is that hockey material. So right in between the little ASICS little stripe things. Notice that little toe thing I was talking about. You see all those little lines, the sewing lines? And I was like, well, is it for skating, extra redundancy, extra protection? What is it for? And then when we got back, we learned that it's from the soccer world to give a little different, like I said, the topography for kicking the ball certain ways. And it just looks sick because once you're wearing them, the utility from like a wear perspective is it gives you pre-built-in like break points. So as you're wearing these in, they're really easy to flex and break in because it's like pre-broken in, and it doesn't just flex in one hard spot, it flexes in several spots because those sewing lines are in there. But more than anything, it just looks cool, and it harkens back to that original sneaker from 1989 that was a soccer cleat, and now it's like a skate shoe, which is so sick. I love it. Yeah, here's the box that inspired it. It inspired the box. And the photo shoot was so sick. I don't even know if I can show these to you, but like look at this. All the Vogue. Shot it in that hockey rink. Some sick Polaroids. The shoe is so cool. And it's a really tight little, like, it almost feels like a soccer cleat because it's very form fit around your foot, not a lot of extra volume. It's really light and flexible. These shoes are cool. And we're gonna be doing a big cut in half video of these pretty soon, so I don't want to spoil too much, but get you a pair of these because they are cool. So huge shout out to ASICS for flying us out to do that little interview and be able to get some exclusive pairs of these before the launch, to wear them, to test them, to give you guys a little heads up of when they drop. So if you want a pair of ASICS, check them out. It's a great way to thank ASICS for flying us out to New York to get these shoes and give you guys the extra content and the real story behind some of this stuff, because I think that's what we do a really good job of, is like looking into the history, looking into the inspiration, and into the shoe quality. So these are cool. What about shoes? What shoes did I take to New York? Like, this is a good question that a lot of people ask from time to time. Like, what is your go-to shoe for this? And so when I was preparing to travel, I was like, what is my go-to shoe for travel? And I'm gonna be walking like 50 miles in a week, walking around New York City, and I want to be comfortable. I want to like be able to walk without wearing my legs out. So what did I choose for my go-to travel shoes? Well, number one, my Birks. Birkenstocks are just hard to beat, and staying in a hotel is nasty. They clean them, technically, but they don't scrub them. And so like I always like to bring a little pair of Birkenstocks with me anywhere I travel, because it's nice to have a little pair to put around the hotel room, or if I make my shoes too sweaty and stinky, I've got an extra pair. They pack down really, really flat. They give you arch support, they give you a wide toe box, they make it really comfortable when you need a little bit of comfort. But for my shoe for every day, for walking, for biking, for all that stuff while I was traveling, what did I end up going with? The Lambs Trailblazers. Look at these things. These are cool little shoes. Because you've got the wide toe box, but it's not the widest Lambs. Like these are still plenty anatomical, clearly, but they're not like the hugely wide ones. So they pass a little bit better as a normal shoe. They have kind of an outdoorsy, like Colorado granola kind of vibe to them, which maybe is not the best vibe for a New York City, like trying to fit in New York City, but for trekking around New York City, it was really, really good because it's breathable. You got this mesh up here. You've got plenty of foam through the midsole because unlike every other barefoot brand, they actually put foam in their shoes, Lambs does. You got a lot of really good traction. You know, you don't need that much traction for traveling, but you'd be surprised at how much you'll rely on traction when you don't have plans in New York City and you just kind of go out and just solo trip it around New York. These were my go-to shoes, and I really like them. Like by the time I was done, I was like, dang. Yeah, there's something to Lambs and why they're so popular. $145, comes in a few different colors. Lo and behold, the wide fit version of the Trailhead designed for those. Oh, so there's even more narrow version? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is as wide as their other ones. So what's the Trailhead? Oh, so this must be a little bit more narrow. I'd be interested to try this one too, but I was really, really happy with these. But either way, really, really good travel shoes. They passed the smell test, but they passed the smell test for a reason that I can't show you yet because we got a little insole project that I think you guys are gonna eat up. And I just can't tease it yet because we got too many brands always trying to rip us off and try to steal our ideas and ride our coattails. I'm like, we're not even a footwear brand. Quit knocking everything we do off. So I can't quite show it yet until the patent's done and before we get close enough that no one's gonna try to steal it. But I put a little special project insole in these, and that made the biggest difference in not necessarily just comfort, but the smell. And I can't go too much into it. But you just wait, it's coming out soon. Well, we're gonna announce it soon. And you're gonna like it. I'm surprised no one's ever done it, honestly. I'm shocked that nobody's done what we're doing with this insole because it seems so obvious. And that's why I'm like, I'm not saying a single thing. We've had too many experiences where these brands are sneaky little brands. We like a good, healthy competition anyway. So then, flew out to New York, met with Gino, met with Thursday, Nolan from Thursday, had a really good time. Hang out with Thursday is really fun. I hung out with him like the second night we're there, and I hadn't gone shopping yet. And I packed super, super light because I was like, I'm just gonna go shopping. I'm gonna hit up all these stores like Standard and Strange, Naked and Famous, all these cool spots. I'm gonna buy a bunch of clothes, save room in my pack so I can just take them home instead of shipping them home. And Nolan's like, hey, let's go get a drink. And I'm from Mona, Utah. I don't know how New York works. It's the first time I was in New York. And I show up in literally these shorts. And no one's like, well, you can't wear shorts to a fancy New York bar, dude. And I was like, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. And so we got rejected from like 2 bars because of my dumb shorts. So I was like, we're at these like this really nice fancy bar that this like live music was going on, and Nolan brought some of his friends over, like these New York beautiful models, like these 2 beautiful ladies, and I'm wearing these. And I'm wearing these, and I'm wearing I'm wearing this, and I just was like, I should have put a little more thought into this. I am wholly unprepared for this, but it was such a good time. It was really, really fun. So a huge shout out to Nolan and Gino. That's good guys. But as for the stores, because it was halfway out there for work, halfway just for fun, like. ASICS was going to have us there for a couple of days, but then we asked if we could just extend. And so me and Sam spent the whole week. Sam flew his wife out. They went and did their thing, and I was just solo tripping around New York, just soloing it. It was so much fun. Saw a bunch of really cool things. And I wanted to hit up some of the really popular stores for more of the stuff that like you and I are into, like the heritage stuff, the workwear stuff. And I was surprised at how few there were. And I didn't have the most time in the world, so there's probably a lot that I missed. And there's some that I visited that weren't even really worth mentioning that we just don't have the time. But I went to Standard and Strange, and Standard and Strange in New York is really, really cool. They got a lot of unique stuff, a lot of I was surprised at how many military reproduction things that they have there. A lot of like the real McCoys, a lot of like the Tons of John Lofgren stuff there. Like the whole wall is like mostly John Lofgren. And it was cool because there's this horse butt pull-on boot roper that I really wanted, and the fellow that was helping me was very, very good help. So whoever, Standard Strange, good hires because your employees know what's up. I just didn't have the size I wanted, and I almost bought a Chrome XL pair, but I was like, I don't know if I can justify it because I wanted to spend my money on a lot of other things. But so I didn't end up buying anything from Standard & Strange, but it was really cool, so I'd recommend going and see that. Naked and Famous. I did go by the Naked and Famous store because I didn't even know this. I knew it without knowing it. I was like, I guarantee that Naked and Famous has like an exclusive that you can only buy in New York City pair of pants. Yeah, so I asked the employee, I'm like, what do you have for like exclusive stuff in New York City? He's like, we got one. And probably have to blur the titties out. That's a very, very realistic one of the Naked and Famous girl. So this is their New York exclusive. Empire State Selvage, made with American-grown Supima cotton. Rugged and durable, yet soft to the touch. Available exclusively at Naked and Famous Denim, NYC, 123 Grand Street, New York, 10013, United States. I go with the True Guy fit. It seems to be what fits me best. I just really like the contrast stitching. I don't know exactly the details on this denim, but it's got this kind of cross-hatch pattern to it. Oh, this was the other thing. It's got the selvage edge that's like the New York flag or something. Let's see what the New York flag looks like. I'm sure brands are like, well, why can this dude not? Yeah, it is the flag. So there's your New York flag. You see that little raw selvage edge right there? So I had to get the New York exclusive pair, obviously. And I was trying a bunch of other stuff, and I am a little bit too long for Naked and Famous in a lot of ways. So True Guy's really the only one that fits me. And so I was trying on a few different pants, trying on some of the coats and stuff. I'm just not shaped right for all of Naked and Famous's stuff. But I found this pair, and I was like, oh, this pair's so sick. Because it reminds me of like the Japanese stripe motorcycle pants. They're like gel pants that the Japanese motorcycle dudes wear. The Revival Frankenstein denim, 14 ounce. Created from alternating left and right hand twill, this denim combines uneven spun, irregular yarns to create a bold patchwork of textures. So, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you see how it basically has stripes all the way through? Let's see if I can get it to show up. You might not, it's very subtle. If I remember correctly, denim in the early days was always like left hand or right hand twill, and so when you wash your pants and wear them, they'd actually start to twist on you. And so eventually they fix that. And so the interesting thing about these is you get that kind of unique stripy pattern, but when you start washing them and wearing them, it's going to shrink in like kind of like a, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's gonna shrink this way, and it's gonna shrink that way, and this way, that way. So it kind of does this weird like little twisting thing, allegedly. I've never seen a pair worn in, but I was like, that's right up my alley. That's very patina-like. And I just think they look really sick. Maybe you can see it better here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There's a band right there, band there. So these will be really interesting wear. And I sent Brandon a picture of his employees. I'm like, shout out to your employees. Good job, employees. Because the employees at Naked and Famous were also very well educated and very helpful. But those are sick. But I found some really cool stuff that I've always wanted, but I haven't really seen a store in Utah that sells it. And I went to a little store called Dave's, I think it's Dave's Workwear. And I got so many cool little things, starting with some Ben Davis pants. Ben Davis, established in 1935. Like this is a really cool old workwear brand, and this Dave's Workwear was like floor to ceiling denim and workwear and like every brand and every style. I've always wanted a pair of Ben Davises because they're really like big and boxy, lots of room. They've got your hammer loop, got your little pockets here for your various things. They just look really cool too, because the dude at the store was wearing them. I was like, what are those? I want those. And the nice thing is workwear for once is long enough for me, because workwear, they usually run them really long, so anybody can wear them, so they just have to do one length, because we usually workwear is like all about economy of scale, so they just like, let's make them long, they can hem them themselves. So you end up with a really long inseam, which is perfect for me because these stack really well. You can see stacked so well wearing through the little heel, because I kept dragging my heel around New York City, which is, part of the baggy pants look, which, this to a lot of people is an annoyance. They're like, oh, my pants are too long, I'm wearing out the back. This is such a rare occurrence for me that I'm like, look, I'm actually, for once in my life, my pants were too long and I wore through the little hem. So Ben Davises are sick. Honestly, like, even though it was just a workwear store, it's probably one of the cooler stores I went in, because obviously I love workwear and I like all the more heritage and higher quality materials stuff. Ben Davis. I'm gonna have to try these on later. We'll probably just have to do one big try on with them all. Otherwise, I'll be here for the rest of the night. I also got just like a classic blue jean pair, but you can see it's still workwear, like triple stitched, heavy big loops. What do you call them? Belt loops. Same pattern, same everything. But these, these are a 32, 34, and usually I need a 32, 36. But these are longer than half the 36 lengths I have. Just big, boxy, heavy duty materials. Ben Davis is so cool. There's a couple shirts I really wanted to, but I was, spending a decent amount of money. Like, they actually, to be honest with you though, because they're workwear, they're not crazy. They weren't. I think all said and done, I spent more at Naked and Famous than I did at Ben Davis, and I got a lot more from Ben Davis. Like these. How much are these? I don't know how much they were. I think they were cheaper. I don't remember actually. But Stan Ray is another like cool workwear company that doesn't get a lot of attention. But I like these because you've got the button flaps on the back. In the front, you've got these kind of Japanese style big pockets, and I love these big pockets. I love the external pockets like that. And they're a little bit lighter than the Ben Davis's, a little bit shorter too. I wish they were a little bit longer. But I just really liked them. It's kind of like true classic workwear. Like you'd see people wearing these in the 40s. This is like more like 90s workwear, in my opinion. Somebody would probably highly disagree, that's way more into workwear than me. And this is like old school workwear. 90s workwear, like 40s and 50s workwear. And so I just got a kick out of that generally. I had to do everything in my power not to buy every color of every single one of these that fit me. Yep, there's your davesnewyork.com. So I'm willing to bet if you want a pair of these that you could probably order them on their site. Let them know I sent you. Just kidding, they don't even know who I am. These ones only came in 32s. That's why they're a little bit shorter. You probably order them taller, but I wanted to get them. And then I saw this really cool pair of like actual tactical camo pants. Rothko, it's probably like, it's not like a heritage brand, it's not like a vintage brand, it's like a tactical brand. But I love tactical pants because, first of all, the utility of them, they're very durable. You have a lot, like 1,000 little odd pockets, and like usually they make them really comfortable, like this big seat in the butt here. Allows it to have a lot more room in the butt. They're really high-waisted, so for me, like I can put them really high on my waist when I'm hiking and stuff, and I don't have to worry about like wearing out my waistline, if you know what I mean. You got the little cinch at the bottom here, which is really handy. Cinch down around your boots. And I just like this tiger stripe camo. I don't have any camo in this pattern. But yeah, these are gonna be cool pants because you can wear these stylish. You can hike in them. You can work in them. These would just be a good all-around camo pants. Camo pants are in, so you might as well buy them and wear them while you can because it won't be in for long. And then the last thing I bought that was maybe my favorite thing that I just wore the rest of the trip was this really cool hickory stripe Levi shirt. I just love this little, what do they call this kind of embroidery? I can't remember what they call it. Embroidered. Hickory stripe, pearl snaps. I always love a good pearl snap. I was talking to Melvin today. I was like, Melvin, you need to get a pearl snap. I'm trying to convince Melvin to slowly get more and more Western wear. He actually wore one today. And yeah, it actually fit me really, really well, which is like a surprisingly hard problem for me. The arm's a little short, which is fine. So yeah, pretty good haul, all said and done. Pretty good haul for shopping. I met a lot of really cool people. Went shopping in a lot of cool spots. Saw a lot of really cool and interesting parts of New York because I'd never been to New York. So a huge shout out again to ASICS for flying us out. That was a really cool experience for me and for Sam. And check out their shoes when they drop. It's a great way to thank them for this content that we're giving to you, and thank them for sending us out to New York and letting us extend a little bit and do some more shopping and do some more connecting. Check these out. I'm not just hyping them up because they flew us out to New York. They're actually sick. I think they look cool. They feel like a tight little pair of like athletic shoes. They're surprisingly comfortable because seems like there's foam in there. You can kind of see through it. I just like these shoes a lot. So check them out when they drop. Huge shout out again to everybody that helped us with that. And thank you guys for watching. It's a pretty long one. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you like these longer form ones, we can keep doing longer videos. It's just playing the algorithm game. It's ultimately what it comes down to. We're just trying to get Rose Anvil 2 to a point where we can at least break even on these videos, and not even counting like the expense, because I just chalk that up to like personal expense. Just the labor goes into the editing and all the odds and ends that go into making a video for free. So thank you guys for your support in making all this possible. And if you want to support us, check out ASICs, check out our handmade leather goods, check out our collaborations that's made all this possible this year. That's pretty much it. So thank you guys. See ya. So romantic, Sam. You took us to the friend spot. I know I told you that it was gonna be this way.